Hi, all my LGBT friends and others. Okay, so we're going to continue reading chapter 32 of Deuteronomy. And I'm just going to jump right into it. I just finished reading chapter 31. So, okay, let's see what song this is. All right, Moses' song, which set forth the perfections of God. People exhorted to set their hearts upon it. God sends him up to Mount Nebo to see the land and die. Okay. Give an ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, and the small rain upon the tender herb, and a showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all of his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They are perverse and a crooked generation. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people, and unwise? Is he not thy father that hath brought thee? Had he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of their children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttering over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taking them and beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on high places of the earth, that he may eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock. Butter of kine, milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams, of the bread of the Bashan, the goats with the fat of the kidneys of the wheat, and thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked, and thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and thou hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face with them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are and they are a very, forward generation, children in which is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. And I will heap mischief upon them, and I will spend my arrows upon them, and they shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with a bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of the beast upon them with the poison of the serpents of the dust. And the sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hairs. And I said, I would scatter them into the corners, and I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord hath not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000 and put 10,000 to flight, except that rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up? For that rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps. It's not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and that there is none shut up or left. He shall say, where are their gods, their rock, in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he. There is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I will lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword in mine hand, take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto the land and to his people. And Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hoshea the son of Nun. And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all of Israel. And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe to do, all the words of this law. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. And though this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whether you go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the selfsame day, saying, get these up into the mountain Abarim, unto Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab. This is over against Jericho. Behold, the land of Canaan, and I will give unto the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount whither thou goest up, and be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people, because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh. in the wilderness of Zin, because you sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I give the children of Israel. Okay. Chapter 33. The majesty of God, the blessing of the 12 tribes, the excellency of Israel. And this is a blessing wherein Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord from Sinai rose up from Seir unto them, and he shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000 of saints. His right hand went a fiery law for them. Yea, he loved the people. All the saints are in the hand that sat down at the feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Moses commanded us a law, even an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. Let Rabban live and not die, and let not his men be few. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him into his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou a help to him from his enemies. And of Levi, he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massah, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto his fathers and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he not acknowledge his brothers, nor knew his children, for they observed thy word and kept thy covenant. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Israel thy law. They shall put incense before thee, and whole burnt sacrifice upon thy altar. Bless Lord his substance, and all the work of his hands smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. And of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety upon him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord be his land and the precious things of heaven, for the dew and for the deep that coucheth beneath, and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and of the precious things that put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of the bullock. His horns are like the horns of the unicorn. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. And they are 10,000s of Ephraim, and there are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, rejoice, Zebulun, in the going out, and at Issachar in thy tents. They shall call the people into the mountain. They shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seas and of the treasures hid in the sand. And of Gad he said, blessings be he that enlarges Gad, and he that dwelleth as a lion in tearing the arm of the crown of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there is a portion of the lawgiver was seated, and he came with the heads of the people, be executed the judgment of the Lord and his judgments with Israel. And there I've got to stop. That's at verse 21, and I will continue. Okay, bye-bye.